Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good? There are probably a lot of people out there that are thinking, the past couple of days have not been good. They've been great. Let's see. Was hanging out with the family last night, so that was good. Realized that there are more opportunities out there than pitfalls. That's great. And I woke up this morning. That's great. Now, about the market. I'm pretty sure that's what you guys want to get to. Last night, I did not have Friday Night Flips because last minute plans changed. All about the family. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to do it. But I have a question for you today. Today's poll question is, has AI entered your workplace yet? And the answers are yes, no, there are rumors, and other. If it's other, drop it in the comments for me. That's what the conversation is today. So if you've got questions, you've got comments, drop it in there, and I'll try to keep up with everybody, and we'll see what happens. Max Salas, happy day to you. Thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself. Yo, Michael McCaskill in the house. So, you know, for the past while, I've been talking about how companies have had massive layoffs, right? And I've also been talking about companies that have not only had massive layoffs, but have been leveraging H-1B visas. Now, the idea about H-1B visas is they're really supposed to be used to basically give visas to people who have skills that don't exist or are not readily available in the United States. Well, so many people are filing for, or so many companies are filing for visas that it's on a lottery system. Yeah, a lottery system. Now, yeah, you could say it's on a lottery system, but you know, there could be, you know what I'm saying? There could be things at play. Thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself, kind sir. So let's talk about the companies that have had layoffs, okay? Let me get back to my list. Meta, Microsoft, Tata Consulting Services, which is now called TCS, Intel, Amazon, Salesforce, Stripe, Genentech, GlaxoSmithKline or GSK, HP Inc., HPE, NetApp, Scale AI, CrowdStrike, UPS has, talked about massive layoffs. JP Morgan Chase, Zoom. That's a lot. That's a lot. But I'm going to share something with you that's going to possibly catch your attention, right? Wait, before we get there, Microsoft laid off most recently, I think it was July, 9,000 people. Previous to that, I think it was May, they laid off 6,000 people. That's 15,000 like that. 15,000. That's a lot. Okay. You've got UPS at about 20,000. Dell, what's this at about, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Dell at about 12,000, Nissan at about 11, Intel at about 10, Audi 7,500, BP 7,700, DHL 8,000, Chevron 8,000, HBC 8,300. That's not everybody. And remember, we're talking about yesterday being, bad news when it comes to labor, because the numbers got adjusted, right? And only 73,000 jobs were actually created. And then you had a huge drop in May and June. And they, because of the adjustments, and it drove everybody bonkers. And that drove down the stock exchange, the stock market, drove down crypto market. But it created a lot of opportunity if you were like me and had dry powder on the side just waiting. So you're looking at some of these companies and you go, wow, that's a lot of layoffs in just 2025. That's a lot. Now, I'm going to tell you something that happens there are laws across the United States that say if you lay off X amount of people, in your organization, you've got to give them X amount of severance and blah, 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 blah. And you file this thing basically known as a WARN notice. And I know I'm probably saying that word twice. It's the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification. Okay? Or retraining notification. What that is that companies are supposed to let the government know in what cities they're going to have a percentage of layoffs for their company. Now, a lot of public companies don't go by that rule. Instead, they're willing to pay the fine because they don't want to send signals to the street that could otherwise hurt their stock price. It's common practice. It is very common practice. What else has become common practice is the filing of H-1B visas. Like I said, an H-1B visa is meant to bring in a resource that has scarce skills, right? Meaning there are people in the United States that probably have those skills, but we can't get them. We can't find them. We don't have them. So they bring people in. The truth is that there probably are people in the United States that have these skills, but these companies want to save even more money. So they literally import the talent. I'm going to share something with you that's probably going to make a lot of people somewhat displeased. Why? Because when you import somebody, you're paying them significantly less than what you would pay people here in the United States for the same job, for the same skill set. That's where the greed kicks in, right? Some of these companies have made, higher revenue than previous quarters, previous year over years, yet they still want more. Some of these companies have even done buybacks, and what a stock buyback is a company will buy back its stock, thusly removing that stock from off the public market, thusly increasing the value of that stock. So if you're a shareholder, what happens? Well, your stock goes up, and that makes you happy. That's how they're giving back money to the shareholders. Instead of maybe taking some of that buyback and paying their people more money. They don't do that. You don't hear about that. That's apparently not a thing, right? Or it's not a thing in big ways. So you have a lot of people that wind up, excuse me, I hit my throat earlier and it's really, really sore, like crazy sore. It kind of hurts. But luckily I still have my voice, just hurts to swallow. But wine usually makes it go down easier. So it actually does help, believe it or not. Or at least mentally, it makes me think it helps. But, so you have all these people that lose their jobs, and you have all these companies that go for H-1B visas. Let me show you something. Let me show you just a little something. Wow. Let me go over to inputs and fix my monitor. Yeah, it's this one. All right. What we are looking at are U.S. government figures around H-1B visas and who's had the most filings, right? The most approved filings for H-1B visas. No, it's a Riesling. My daughter's going to pick up Chardonnay. I told her to get one oaky and one buttery so she can try them both. Now, anyway, back to the subject at hand. So you've got Amazon with 10,044 H-1B visa filings. You've got 10,044 jobs, and none of those jobs can be fulfilled by somebody already in the United States, like a citizen. No. Okay. All right. Just checking. Tata Consulting Services, otherwise known as TCS. Now, TCS is a vendor, right? And they supply resources to all kinds of companies around the country. They have filed for 5,505 H-1B visas. I'm sorry. Let me restate that. They have been awarded that number of visas. Then you've got Microsoft, who just laid off over the past few months 15,000 people who have been already awarded 5,189 H-1B visas. Meta Platforms, 5,123. Meta Platforms with 5,123. Apple, 4,202. Google, 4,181. Cognizant, another company just like Tata, they supply people to larger organizations. Consultants, if you will. 2,493. JP Morgan Chase, 2,440. Walmart Associates, 2,390. Deloitte, 2,353. You see where this is going? Amazon Web Services, AWS, 2,347. Got to add it to the number above. Then you've got Oracle, 2,092. Infosys, another company that supplies people just like Cognizant, just like TCS, 2,004. Capgemini, another same company, 1,844. I don't know who this is. LTI Mindtree Limited, 1,807. HCL America, another company that supplies people, 1,728. Intel, 1,698. And a lot of these companies have already announced that they are going to, they're going to be going through layoffs. So, how is that? Sorry, wrong one. Whoopsies. It's supposed to be this one. There you go. That's the right one. Whew. It's a Saturday. I don't get everything right on Saturdays. So when you think about this, it's kind of nuts. Okay? It's kind of nuts. IBM, 1,598. Cisco Systems, 1,570. Accenture, 1,568. Wipro, just like Cognizant, just like TCS, just like Infosys, 1,523. Amazon Development. Are you kidding me? Amazon's all over the place with another 1,431. Fidelity Technology Group. I mean, so you could just go down this list and see how many companies are filing for or have been awarded H-1B visas. Okay? And again, I say that it's going to be hard for me to understand or even believe that you couldn't find resources with those skills already in the United States not requiring visas. I'm just saying. Just saying. Mind you, there's something that there's not a phenomenon, but something has happened that we should probably be paying attention to. And that is the fact that, let me switch over because you don't need to see that anymore. And that is that IBM implemented AI. And they implemented AI to help them with HR functions, human resources. It did so well that IBM laid off 8,000 people. 8,000 people. Because AI is working so well. AI is working so well that they're actually going to be offering, or I believe they already are offering, access to that HR software that they use to customers. The other day I said that we should probably be looking at various industries that can be immediately affected by artificial intelligence and automation. I mean, in automation also including, robotics, not just automation of processes, office processes, but robotics. Because remember when I was telling you about self-driving trucks, self-driving, semi-trailers? They can be retrofitted or they can be brand new, right? Some of these factories or some of these companies that are moving products, loading up the tractor trailers, all that stuff, robots. They can get a whole long pallet, put it in, drop, and roll out those robots. Yeah. If you look at some of these factories, like Amazon's factories, they have pallets and they run around moving. They have robots that run around moving pallets to different places, and then they go back to their charging stations. How do they charge? The same way a lot of these electric toothbrushes charge. Boop. And they sit there and the electricity flows, wirelessly. So they're always ready to rock and roll. Amazing, is it not? Absolutely amazing. When you look at AI and how it can affect different things, you're looking at a dramatic change in the workforce in the United States and in other countries. And when I say dramatic, I don't mean disruptive. I mean a level of disruptive that probably hasn't been seen in a long time. A very long time. Okay? When you can create an AI-based solution and replace 8,000 or displace 8,000 employees, that says a lot. Not to mention in HR specifically, you've got outsourced services that are going on for HR, outsourced services that are going on for a lot of areas like accounting, a lot of even legal services, a lot of areas that's happening too. But to think that some of these companies, and I hate to keep using Microsoft because they're not the only ones. It's just the one that I happen to remember off the top of my head. They had higher revenue than expected. Higher revenue than expected. Still had layoffs and still leveraging H-1B visas. Let that wash over you for a minute. What kind of people are they using for H-1B visas? Or, just companies in general? Project managers, scrum managers, developers, all kinds of resources. Business analysts, just all kinds of resources, from technology side to the business side, just all kinds of resources. Wait a minute. You couldn't find a technical project manager, program manager, business analyst. You couldn't find those resources in the United States? Already here, looking for work, right skills. Why are they doing it? Well, if you're somebody that's here on an H-1B visa, a company is hosting you. And I hate to say it like this, but you're a slave to that country, to that company, as long as you're in this country. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. I've got friends who come here every so often, every few years. They come to the United States, make a lot of money, and then go back to whatever country they came from with that money. I don't talk about it from, not knowing. I talk about it from speaking with people that are actually doing it. Looking at AI specifically, AI is going to hurt the job market 8 ways to Sunday. It's no joke, right? Not only are you talking about, taking drinking water from local areas so that you can keep the equipment cool. Drinking water. But it's also going to affect people's jobs. I'm a certified project manager. I'm a certified scrum master. I've been doing, that kind of work for years. But I'm a management consultant, so I do a lot of different things for a lot of different companies. But I can see right now how project management can go away easily because of AI. I can see how scrum masters can go away easily because of AI. People don't realize it. It's huge. It's bigger than you think. It's way bigger than you think. So if you're not keeping up with your skills, if you're not reading the tea leaves around your office, that's why today's question is, has AI entered your workplace yet? Yes, 83%. No, 17%. And I have to say, for those 17%, do you think it's in the near future though? Hasn't hit yet, but is it in the near future? I work with companies that have AI already implemented, and they're calling us up to help them put in controls. Quality controls, accuracy controls, right? Security controls. And then we get to talk about how we can introduce process improvement. There are jobs that are going to pop up because of AI. But for right now, you're going to have many more jobs be disrupted because of AI. More jobs being disrupted than being created. Now, my question for companies is, if you want to do business in the United States and you want to have all these high prices and you want to continue to enjoy, almost record profits, don't you think the people here need jobs to be able to earn money? I mean, how's that work in your head? The jobs numbers come out and the new regime decides, I'm going to fire the person that heads up the labor department's statistics area. The numbers are the numbers. That's just math. So you're literally shooting the messenger. Why? Because the numbers have been bad for the past few months? Sounds about right. Red herring, make everybody look over here because stuff over here is not looking so good? Sounds about right. Right now, the unemployment rate is about 4.2. It was 4.1 before. So a 0.1% increase. Okay. They call that basically everybody's got a job. I think what they're forgetting is some people have more than one job to make ends meet. What I've been describing to you for the past little while is the idea that you could have a lot of people displaced out of work, right? And then going to have to find jobs that don't pay as much as they're used to making. You're talking about people that make six figures that now have to go find other jobs, most likely more than one. Remember when I was telling you how you go to fast food restaurants and some of these restaurants, they don't have cashiers? You work with a kiosk? Yeah. I look at the golf course and maybe I see one kid caddy, two kid caddies. Everybody else is grown. That used to be a summertime high school or college kid job. Now it's being done by adults. There's a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. And then when you look at the market and you look at the numbers, you're kind of like, oh my God, everything's tanked. Oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Bitcoin was down all the way to like 111. It's at 112 now. So that's an over $11,000 drop for Bitcoin. It's not an insignificant number from the all-time high. It's not an insignificant number. 3,400 for Ethereum, 33.99.66 now. Not an insignificant drop for Ethereum, almost 10% over the past 7 days. Let's see. Bitcoin's dropped 5% over the past 7 days. XRP has dropped 12.36% over the past 7 days. Let's see. BNB 5.75%. Solana has tanked 15%. Hey Paula, happy Saturday. Thank you for letting me know that you've done your investment in yourself. That's what's up. I'm just looking at some of these numbers and I'm like, wow, that's But I'm looking at some of these numbers and I'm saying to myself, oh, this is time for me to get in. This is time for me to get in. I told you, I don't think August is going to be You're retired, but you own a business, don't you? Haven't you leveraged AI for your business? Because that would mean that AI has entered your business, which would mean it's not other, it's yes. Just putting it out there for you so you understand how this works. Anywho, looking at the market, there's a lot to go on. Looking at those jobs numbers, you can fire whoever it is you want to fire. That's not going to change the number. Those are not going to change the numbers. That's no joke. People were laughing at me when I said, you're probably going to have to invest just to make ends meet. And now they're finding out that I'm not so crazy. That's actually real. I wasn't trying to be funny. I wasn't going for the hoopla and the hooray and all that good stuff. I'm trying to prepare you. Because literally right now, you probably are going to have to invest to make ends meet. Sorry, lips were feeling a little dry. And those are real deal things. Those are real deal things I have to contend with. Nowadays, it can take you anywhere between 6 and 12 months. I know people have still been looking for 18 months to find a gig. How do you find a gig when you have companies laying people off and then turning around and hiring H-1B visas? How do you compete with that? And then, on the whole, what's affecting our wallets right now? What's affecting our bags right now? Let's get into this. Higher grocery prices. Right now, if you walk into Walmart, you're going to see price differences. Look at the tags, and you'll see the bottom has been ripped off. Look at those tags. You'll probably find one that still has the original number on there, and then look up at the rack to see how much they're charging for it now. You're already seeing higher prices being reflected because of the tariffs. Who do you think pays for those tariffs? Those prices get passed along. Those companies are not going to take a decrease in their already thin margins. Then you have auto sales, especially in the United States. You have auto sales that are not doing well. Ford's taking a hit. GMC's taking a hit. Big hits. I was looking for a car, and I was looking for a car, and I walked into the Range Rover dealership just to get an idea. You know, I had driven a Jag before, and it was nice. And I was like, all right, let me get an idea about, what's available. And they tried to act like the fact that they can't import everything that they need to support their vehicles, that they should charge a premium for it. I immediately turned around and walked out. It's like, what are you, stupid? So I left. Why does Solana always crash so hard? I've been telling you why for forever, it seems. Meme coins. Solana likes to come out with numbers that, they've got higher numbers than Ethereum when it comes to RWAs. Maybe. Maybe higher than Ethereum, but not higher than everything running on Ethereum. Number one. Two, if the bulk of your traffic is from meme coins and meme coins take a hit in a down market, usually larger than all other coins, because meme coins don't bring anything to the table other than a funny, cute, sexy name. That's it. So yeah, Solana's feeling it. Now think about this. Solana's at 85 billion and USDC is at 64 billion. Stablecoin. And with all the deals that Circle's been making, you could see that, USDC is going to grow. The next drop from there is far. It's all the way down to 26 billion, and that's Doge. And then after that, it's 24 million for Cardano. Rather, Doge is at 29 million. So you look at these things and you're kind of like, damn, why did Solana take a hit? They're not doing as much as people think. They're not. All that meme traffic, and then the bulk of that meme traffic coming from bots. Yeah, now you start to see. Because if it's me and it's a down market and I'm running a whole bunch of bots, I'm going to turn them off for right now. Why should I blow money in a down market? Wait for the dust to settle, then turn them back on. To say, there's a lot going on. I just saw a hawk catch lunch or dinner at this time. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. And he's just sitting on top of that dinner. So yeah, you start to realize that there's a lot going on. A lot. So, excuse me. Looking at the job market, looking at the hit because of tariffs, looking at how things are going to be passed along to the public, we're in for a bumpy ride. Something else that's going to happen in the United States. Energy prices are going up. They've been going up. They're going to continue to go up. Not a little bit here and there. They're going to go up a lot. People are going to have to start pooling resources because energy is going to cost so much. If you own buildings, you should probably look into solar or wind. Why? When you get those energy bills, it's going to freak you out. You're going to have to be able to offset that somehow, some way. You really are. I have a lot of friends that are into the energy market. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. So yeah, I mean, normally I'd be giving you guys stuff about news. There's no news bigger than the jobs numbers that came out. Conflicting GDP report. The job number is the one that I'm paying attention to. So what happens now? Cut rates? No. What happens in September? Probably cut rates, and probably not by 25 basis points. There's a strong chance that the cut in September could be 50 basis points. Imagine 50 basis points. When I tell you we're in for some turmoil, I mean we're in for some serious turmoil. Stocks will get a jolt. Crypto's getting a jolt. And neither one of them in good ways. Now, does that make sense to me? Yeah, I think that you could see Bitcoin come down to close to 100. I think you could see that happen. Like I said, August, from a positive catalyst perspective, there's nothing going on in August. There's nothing going on in August. So do I think that September can be big? Yes. What will I be doing in August? Sprinkle, sprinkle. My sprinkle, my DCA strategy will probably be a bit harder, a bit larger, because everything's down so much. So there's great upside. There's great upside potential. But like I said, I'm investing in projects that actually have use cases. Investing in a meme coin, not happening. Not for me. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Absolutely invest deliberately. You must. There's no opportunity to be sleeping on ways to make money legally. Other homework that I'm going to do, I'm going to be looking over that CARF package that just came out. CARF. I'm going to be looking into that because one of the things that was mentioned is that you wouldn't have to claim. You have to claim all of your holdings. You have to claim all of your, crypto holdings, foreign and domestic. But you don't have to claim your DeFi transactions. Say what now? So how much will I be doing in DeFi? Because I don't have to claim those. What does that say to you? It says to me that the new regime is doing a lot in DeFi, or the companies associated are doing a lot in DeFi. So blatantly just coming out there and saying, yeah, I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing in DeFi. I don't want to have to claim that. I don't want to have to make money on that or lose money on that. That's what that says to me. But why not take advantage? So I will, if I can, for as long as I can. Now, today's question was, has AI entered your workplace? 75%, 8 votes, 75% said yes. 12% said no. 12% said other. So 6 said yes. 1 said no. 1 said other. And Paula is now a yes because she was another. Because she's retired. You're not retired if you own your business. It's not the way it works. Just saying. Just saying. So yeah, there's a lot that's going on. So from a research perspective, when I go out there and I'm doing research on all these coins and I see, oh, this coin is down and that coin is down and this is why they're down. No, there's only one reason why they're down. The current level of chaos from the new regime around every number out there. You're going to fire the person that delivered the bad news. That's like firing the dentist because you have cavities. Numbers don't lie. I just showed you the chart that tracks H-1B visas in the United States, successful H-1B visas. So when I sit back and I look at all this and I look at the hundreds of thousands of jobs, some reality is going to start to settle in. People may be working, but it doesn't mean that they're earning the money that they're accustomed to earning. Anyway, everybody, I just wanted to drop this show because I know I didn't do the Friday night flips that I normally do. But I also wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on artificial intelligence and what's going on in that space and how it can affect you. My company does a hell of a ton in artificial intelligence. We do a lot of work in that artificial intelligence space, automation space. And let me tell you, things are going to be changing, and they'll be changing for a while. They'll be changing for a while. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes. Tell your friends about this community because this community actually cares about you learning and you growing your bags. All of us sharing information because we want all of us to succeed. Right now, I don't know if you noticed the light behind me. I'll probably be using that to demonstrate how I feel the market is going. Red, green, blue for neutral, or if I'm teaching something. We'll try it out. We'll see what happens. Wanted to add a little bit of ambiance, see how that works out. Anyway, everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. Let me end that poll so you guys can see the numbers. Let me tell you something. If you're not up on AI and automation, you had better get up on it. Okay? Everybody, have a good one. Bye-bye.